Meet Tiffany. She's the kind of person whose energy you feel before she even steps into the room. A woman who laughs like she invented joy but cries like she swallowed the entire ocean. People say Tiffany feels too much, but maybe, just maybe, the world feels too little. She's 29, a graphic designer with an eye for detail, so sharp it could slice through steel. But let's just say, Tiffany's life isn't as neatly aligned as the pixels on her computer screen. She's a mystery to those around her, and most days to herself. Tiffany's co-workers? They adore her, at least on Mondays. Her ideas are brilliant, her energy infectious. On Monday mornings, she's the office superstar. But by Wednesday afternoon, she's already had 2 heated confrontations, 3 trips to the bathroom to cry, and 1 dramatic resignation email, which she promptly retracts, of course. Who else would they hire with her flair for creativity? It's not that Tiffany doesn't want to keep it together. She does. But the tiniest critique feels like a declaration of war, and a slightly distant tone from her boss. It's like she's suddenly invisible. And Tiffany will not be invisible. Her mother used to say, "You're like a firework, Tiffany. Bright, loud, and gone too fast." And Tiffany never knew if it was a compliment or a warning. She grew up in a house full of unspoken rules, where love came in unpredictable waves, warm and soothing one moment, icy and distant the next. Little Tiffany learned early that to keep people close, she had to fight harder, louder. And fight she does, even now. At 29, her battles aren't against playground bullies. They're with her best friend, her co-workers, and sometimes the barista who dared to put oat milk instead of almond in her latte. Clara has been Tiffany's best friend since college. They've seen it all together, late-night study sessions, questionable haircuts, and a questionable number of tequila shots. But Clara knows the rules of being Tiffany's friend. Never cancel plans last minute. Always respond to texts immediately. And under no circumstances should you ever suggest that Tiffany might be overreacting. So, when Clara casually mentions that she can't make it to brunch next Sunday, Tiffany's world implodes. Her voice shakes as she accuses Clara of abandoning her, of being fake, of secretly hating her all along. Clara, stunned, tries to explain. It's her niece's birthday party. But to Tiffany, it feels like betrayal. And betrayal? That's unforgivable. Here's the thing about Tiffany. For all her passion and fire, she's lonely. Her intensity, while dazzling, often pushes people away. But when they leave, it confirms her worst fear, that she's unlovable. Family gatherings are a minefield. Her brother always brings up politics, knowing it'll set her off. Her mother flits between fussing over her and subtly criticizing her life choices. This time, it's about her job. Maybe you'd be less stressed if you worked in something more stable, her mother suggests. Tiffany's response is swift and fiery. Maybe I'd be less stressed if you actually supported me for once. She storms out, leaving behind a stunned silence and a half-eaten plate of lasagna. Her family doesn't chase her. They've learned that Tiffany needs space, until she doesn't. Tiffany sits in her living room, the weight of the day pressing down on her chest. She scrolls through her phone, no messages. She drafts a long, dramatic text to Clara, but doesn't send it. Instead, she decides to bake a cake, a chocolate one, with sprinkles. Because nothing says I'm fine like baking a cake at 2 a.m. She brings the cake to work, her smile radiant, her laughter loud. "I was just in the mood to bake," she declares, as if she hadn't spent the night crying into a mixing bowl. Her co-workers praise the cake. It's delicious. For a moment, Tiffany feels loved, accepted. But deep down, she knows the feeling won't last. Mid-afternoon, her boss casually mentions that another designer will be leading the next project. Tiffany's heart races. Her mind spirals. They don't think I'm good enough. They're replacing me. I knew it. Before she knows it, she's in the break room, furiously eating the leftover cake, muttering about how ungrateful everyone is. A co-worker walks in, startled. Tiffany freezes, cake crumbs on her lips. "Are you okay?" the co-worker asks. Tiffany bursts into laughter. Big, hearty, slightly unhinged laughter. "Of course I am," she says, tears streaming down her face. And that, dear listener, is Tiffany, a woman who feels too much, loves too hard, and bakes cakes to survive her chaos. She's a firework, blazing brilliantly in the night sky, unsure if anyone's watching. Her mood swings, her fear of abandonment, her black and white thinking. They're all pieces of her puzzle. To some, they might seem like flaws. But to Tiffany, they're the only way she knows how to navigate a world that feels unpredictable and overwhelming. Her story doesn't have a neat ending because Tiffany isn't a neat person. She's messy and beautiful, a firework in a world of candles. And somewhere right now, she's probably drafting another unsent text or Googling frosting recipes. Because if nothing else, Tiffany is unforgettable. And maybe that's enough. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Kindly like, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comments section below.